RTS genre. What happened to it? There has been many discussion article and video on why the RTS genre has failed. Everything from graphic limitation, the genre not being profitable enough, RTS being killed by the MOBA genre, StarCraft elitist, game is too hard, stop focusing on multiplayer, that's not enough campaign content, stop appealing to the casual, stop appealing to the hardcore scene. Now, I agree that these factors contribute, but it's not the real reason why RTS died. In this video, I will tell you the real reason why the genre died. And not only that, but I will also give you what the future RTS game needs. The reason that RTS genre died is because of its gameplay. But what makes a good RTS gameplay? Well, you can see the best example of that in StarCraft 1. However, StarCraft 1 was an accident. Some of the concepts, some of the fundamental that I will talk about, it wasn't intended by the game dev. They did have some concept, but they could have never imagined StarCraft to turn out the way it did. StarCraft 1 was basically penicillin. It was a lucky accident. So even if we get the original StarCraft 1 dev to make another RTS game, I don't think they could have pulled it off. However, just because it was an accident doesn't mean it can't be replicated. You just have to study how it turned out to be. The same thing with penicillin. They don't just throw that away. They put it in a lab, they break it down, they figure out why it kills bacteria, and then they mass produce it. So what make a good RTS gameplay? What was so accidental about StarCraft that made it the best game of the genre? What made it the biggest esport game ever? Let's talk about what makes RTS gameplay great. What is the fundamental of great RTS gameplay? Well, it has to start with the engine. The engine has to be responsive. When you click a unit, it had to go where you want to be. The pacing has to be good, not too fast, not too slow. The engine should have anti-clumping unit mechanism. Engine allow for high ground and low ground mechanic. The engine has to allow for meaningful base building, also called SimCity in StarCraft. Most importantly, the engine has to allow for higher execution play. In StarCraft, there's this thing called Patrol Micro, where you can micro your Vulture and your Mutalisk in a certain way. That's not possible with attack move command. You can also pick up unit to dodge damage. After you design a great game engine with better unit padding, of course, you go to the next thing, which is the gameplay. If you look at StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2, the basis of RTS come down to multitasking. Player has to decide what to focus their attention on. They have to decide where to build their building, when to create unit, when to control their unit, when to set up their attack, when to defend, and then they have to juggle between all those actions. Or if you are Bisu, you can try to do everything all at once. Playing RTS is similar to playing Osu, and that is fun in itself. It's fun just to do stuff. Telling a worker to mine is fun. Not missing a macro cycle is fun. Controlling unit is fun. Trying to figure out your opponent's strategy is fun. Trying to juggle between all the decision and all the action is part of what makes a good RTS player. People are multitasking more than ever in real life. When there is not enough multitasking, the game became too easy to be good at, and no one wants to watch an easy game. Would you rather watch tennis or pickleball? Now, I would rather play pickleball. It seemed easy. It seemed like something I can do with my friend. But if I were to spend money, I would watch professional tennis games. This is what Flash has to say about StarCraft 2 in comparison to StarCraft 1 in terms of dumping down the game.
스타2는 멀티 다 잘해요 그냥. 게임 게임 그렇게 만들면 안 됐지. 스타2는 또 좀 다르게 만들었어야지. 어렵게. 멀티 다 잘하잖아 진짜. 그러면 조금이라도 유리하면 역전 못 당이잖아.
뭐라고?
아니 그거 스타2 게이머들도 다 인정하는 부분이어가지고 뭐 필요가 없지. 스타2 하는 애들도 뭐 맨날 얘기하면 그런데 스타2 게임 쉽게 만들어.
Now, don't get me wrong, StarCraft 2 is a good game, but you can't deny the fact that Blizzard did try to make the game easier to be accessible to the masses. And now people are trying to make a game easier than StarCraft 2. Now, StarCraft 2, most average gamer would say it is the best RTS game ever, but that is a common misconception. Similar logic apply to other things. For example, if you ask an average person who the strongest Pokemon is, most people will say Mewtwo. But just because people say Mewtwo is the best Pokemon doesn't mean it is actually the best Pokemon. Same logic apply to StarCraft 2. It is not the best game of the genre. The best game of the genre is StarCraft 1. Let's talk more about design philosophy here before this video turned into StarCraft 1 versus StarCraft 2. So we need to give player option to do a lot of things, to juggle between different action, right? If you're not good at it, then you're just not good at it. Don't bring the skill ceiling down so that a random gamer can play. I mean, they can still play. People still play difficult games. So games such as Elden Ring, Dark Souls, and to some degree, even shooting games such as Counter-Strike and Valorant are difficult mechanically, but people still play them. And not only do they play them, they spend hours and hours just practicing their aim in different programs. So people will play difficult game if it's had a good esports scene and if it's fun. So after multitasking, after APM management, what else does the game need? Well, it needs the 50% win rate for every faction, race, or tribe. And it's had to be in a good way. It can't just be boring unit. It's had to be fun unit. And that's the next point. We need cool and fun, skillful unit. Reaver, Mutalisk, Nukes, Vulture, Marine, Shuttle Control. We need more of these units in new RTS games. These units allow the player to express themselves. And it allows for professional player to show up their skill. And we enjoy watching players controlling these units. We're talking Boxer, Marine Medic control, J-Dong Mutalisk, Snow Reaver control. Okay, what else does the game need? The game needs flexible map design. So StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2 has limitation on map, right? So every professional StarCraft 2 map is a 2 players map. SE1 you can only go up to 4 players map. SE1 maps also had limitation, right? So for example, if you made the map too open, Zerg will dominate, or Protoss will dominate against Terran. There's a lot of limitation. Now, I want the game dev to make a game where we get variety of map design. It should allow for a lot of strategy and skill expression. 50% win rate for every race mean nothing if people just use the same strategy over and over. The meta has to be constantly evolving. We need strategy diversity, and that's the next thing. We need variety of options at different stages of the game. We don't want 100% dominating optimized strategy with no counterplay. For example, Zerg versus Zerg in StarCraft 1. You can only go Muta and Link. You can't really make any other unit. Matchup with a lot of diversity is StarCraft 1 Terran versus Zerg. Not right now, but back in the day. So Terran can go mech or marine medic, right? And Zerg can do different strategies. So I want different option for every race at different point in the game. And that's the fundamental of what make RTS game great. Okay, after the design philosophy, what else do we need to push RTS to a whole new level? Because we don't want to just keep remaking StarCraft 1, StarCraft 2. So what else do we need? Well, we need innovation. These are some of the ideas that I have that can push RTS to a new level. The first concept is I want all race to be equally hard to use. No more easy race like Protoss. So every race should have the same or similar thing to juggle. It should be roughly the same degree of difficulty, but maybe for some races, right, some aspect can be more difficult than the other. But overall, the whole race shouldn't be easier than the other race. Okay, next, this is a new revolutionary idea. And it's a map with levels, right? So I want to be able to fight underground, fight under the sea, maybe fight in the sky or in space. People are already multitasking. So this will force multitask across different area, right? You have to fight on the ground. And then maybe you have to watch your underground. You have to scout your underground area because there could be some unit that could dig a tunnel or something. We see this in different games already. Not even RTS. So the sim has it where you can go to different level to build different area. And this will allow for creativity for everyone. The player, the map maker, the map designer, the game dev. It will expand RTS and take it to a whole new level, man. Right now, all we see in every RTS is just 2D flatland. I think with modern day technology, we can make this happen. We can fight on different levels. The next innovation is living map environment. Land can be affected after taking heavy fire or nuke. Maybe a hole can form. Maybe water can fall into the hole that you created. Bridges can be built or destroyed. Water can be drained. Maybe you have a unit that drain water. Maybe we put in map with actual people and cars. Maybe put in natural disasters such as volcano eruption. Maybe the volcano spawn extra mineral or resource, right? You can put in different disaster and they can have different effect. Day-night cycle. Unit might do different things in daytime and nighttime. Realistic upgrade. So unit don't just get +1 attack or upgrade. They have to go back to the upgrade building or the factory to get their upgrade. Dynamic unit selection. So in dropship and in shuttle, right, you can only have 2 Ultralisk, you can only have 2 Dragoon, 2 Reaver, but you can have 8 workers, you can have 8 circling, 4 Hydra. Well, I want to do that, but with the control group. So we're gonna take away unlimited unit selection. Unlimited unit selection is like modern technology, social media. People think it's good, but it's actually not good. So we're bringing back control group, we're bringing back unit selection, and the idea that I have is dynamic unit selection. So StarCraft 1, right, everything is 12 unit, but in my game, maybe you can only select 3 carrier or something in a control group, but you can select 40 circling. I'm not making any games right? These are just some idea, but I'm sure we can find a sweet spot for every race. And most importantly, I want every race to have scouting tool at every stages of the game. So StarCraft 1 Protoss versus Zerg, Protoss cannot scout Zerg. Sometimes you just have to flip coin. That's not good. I want every race to have the ability to scout at different stages of the game, because if you can't scout your opponent can it doesn't make for very interactive gameplay. We want the game to be based on skill and not just guessing. Okay, after the gameplay innovation, what else do we need? Well, we need interface innovation. These are some of the things that you can see in other games. So best of 3 matchmaking. In StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2, we see a lot of degenerate strategies. So people will do a cheese or all in, right? Because it's best of 1. Well, change the matchmaking to best of 3. Or put in a best of 3 matchmaking with pick bands or whatever. And I think it will create for a better experience. Because don't you just want to play that guy that just cheese you? Don't you want a rematch? In the modern matchmaking, you'll never find that person again. So best of 3 matchmaking. This is from Super Smash Melee Slippy. Okay, next innovation is easy mode. So Street Fighter 6, they have this control setting where they made it very easy for noob. So I don't know how we could implement that in RTS, but maybe we can do like no rush 10-minute mode or no rush 20-minute mode or something, and just let noobs battle it out. You know, they want to play against other noobs, so they can do that. Training mode and trial. I see this in fighting games, I see this in shooting games, I see this in a lot of games. RTS, they kind of use the single player campaign as a training mode. I think we need a specific training mode similar to fighting game. Fighting game, they'll have you go through all these combos for every character. Well, have something similar for every race. How do you control this unit, right? How do you multitask efficiently? And then just have the player keep repeating these tasks until they get it down. In-game guide, we see this in Dota. So one of the complaints that people have is about RTS is that it's too hard. You know, I don't want to look up build order and whatnot. Well, Dota has a guide for every hero built into the game. So we can put something like that in the nil RTS, and then just have the build order, have like a checklist for player to go through. Dota also has coaching mode, so you can go find someone to coach you. Skill test, we see this in Valorant. It's just something fun. They can put it in RTS. Maybe built-in tournament and esports. You put it in the client. We see this in Dota. We see this in Valorant. We see this in League of Legends. You can access esports through the game interface. Tournament mode. We see this in FIFA game, right? Or even in Valorant. Just have built-in tournament. And maybe we can have tournament for younger players, man. Like, everyone want to be a pro gamer, okay? They'll play any game if it let them be a pro gamer. Gen Z right now, people want to be YouTuber, they want to be pro gamer, they want to be streamer. So just have tournament for younger players. And Gen Z, man, they need money. Tournament for younger player, man. In conclusion, man, gameplay and lack of innovation is ultimately why the RTS genre died. No RTS games has been good. And why is it not good? It's not good because they don't understand what make RTS game good. They don't understand the philosophy. All they've been trying to do is just dumping the game down, making it easier for the new generation. But I think we should get away from that, man. We've been trying to make RTS easier forever, and it hasn't worked out.
My wife could play this right now. She doesn't play any RTS ever, and she would beat this.
RTS is too hard, that's why no one plays. So we make it really easy and then get upset when no one wants to play it.
Now run back here like I tell you. No, you just won't. You just won't go where I tell you to.
Make a successor to StarCraft 1, StarCraft Brood War. Trust me, if you make that game, RTS Pro from every RTS game will play that game, and the esports scene would be ridiculous. We can get dream matchup like Grubby versus Zero, right? Flash might come back. We might see Flash versus Maru, Flash versus Zero, Snow versus Moon, you know, Marco, the Red Alert 2 Gold. We can have him play like Artosis or something. The possibility is endless, like RTS. Someone make it the good gameplay. It doesn't even have to be 3 race. Just start with 2 race. Actually, don't even start with 2 race. Start with 1 race. Get the basic down. Okay, the pro gamer will come if you follow the core RTS philosophy game design. So thank you everyone for watching. If you like this content, share it with your friend and like and subscribe and comment. If you build it, they will come.